Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News, and we're here at the 2022 NAMM show. What an event! It's an actual toy store, the biggest one ever for musicians, and I'm going to go inside and touch all of the toys. I'll be playing the guitars, I'll be banging on the drums, I'll be plinking on the pianos, and I know that you wish you were here with me doing the same thing. But let's go inside and take a look and see what's in there right now, so come on with me. And I want you guys to tune into Rico's Blues News on YouTube and the Rico's Blues News Facebook page and the Rico's Blues News website. And more information about that to follow, but here we go. Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News, and I'm here with Justin Walter at the Martin booth at the 2022 NAMM show, if you can believe it. What do you think, man?
Dude, this is amazing. The whole booth is great. Obviously, the show's a little smaller than 2020, but, you know, we're making it happen. It's like, dude, it's like 10:20 right now. Just walked in the NAMM show and ran into Rick. So good to see you, man. It's been a minute. But yeah, super happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Rick. And, you know, it'll be fun.
That's going to be awesome. So I know that you are endorsed by several companies. Who's endorsing you right now?
Okay, so right now we have PRS. I love PRS. I play Silver Sky, Erring Ball, and Reunion Blues. So super grateful to all the companies that are endorsing me right now. It's just super grateful, and yeah, hopefully a few more in the future. But yeah, for now, super grateful.
That's great, man. It would be awesome if you could become a preferred Martin artist.
That would be great.
A guitar player like you needs to play a Martin. Why don't you grab this John Mayer model here and play a little bit for us so that we can just kind of get a feel for what's going on. What's happening with you musically?
So musically, man, we're you know in a great position right now. Obviously, with all these endorsements coming in, I'm super grateful. Right now, we're pumping out content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we're also doing like stuff like this, NAMM, interviews with you, Rick, and all this stuff. So I'm super grateful. More stuff to come, more singing stuff to come. But yeah.
When's your next gig?
Next gig should be next month sometime. We don't know the exact dates, but hopefully next month we're going to be set.
Word is that you're going to make a guest appearance for the Blues in the School show at the Sophia with Blind Lemon Peel. Is that right?
That would be great, man. That would be great.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And brother, it was so awesome. Give me your hand there, my brother.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah. So awesome seeing you playing with Chris Kane the other day.
Yes,
that was
sir.
a great thing.
Sir. That was definitely an honor.
All right. Well, listen, you have a great time at the show, and we'll be running into you again soon. And this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News. We're here watching Mia work out on the Bad Cat. Guys. All right, hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News. I'm here with John Thompson from Bad Cat Amps. Hi, John, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Rick?
I'm doing great. One of the most popular boutique amps. Everybody wants to have a Bad Cat amp. What is it that makes your amplifier so unique?
What it is about our amps that makes them unique is the fact that they are unique. I mean, that they definitely sound like themselves. There isn't anybody else that really kind of sounds like us. We've got a very bright, chimey, sweet, fat, full. It's a sound that's kind of hard to get, and I think it's kind of our own.
You know, one of the things that you told me a couple of years ago when we talked about this was that this amplifier is able to produce the exact same sound at an incredibly low volume that it does at a high volume.
Yeah. It's the way that our master volumes are designed. We've got this incredible engineer, Peter Ahrens, that sort of remade the master volume. I mean, it works like nothing else. And part of the secret is we're able to get so much out of the preamp that we're not really reliant upon the power section to get what most people use for vintage amps. Use the power section for vintage amps.
So is there any particular genre of music that you would say gravitates towards your amps?
I mean, kind of the punchy, clean edge of breakup is kind of our thing. I mean, though we dabbled quite a bit in high gain stuff like the Hot Cat and the Lynx. Some notable players like Stephen Wilson and Porcupine Tree use their high gain stuff. But what makes our high gain stuff different is there's a tremendous amount of note articulation. So you can play crazy chords and drop D tunings and drop C tunings, and you're still hearing all the notes come through, which is kind of hard to do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, as you may know or may remember, I am with the Blues Society. This time I'm with the Sacramento Blues Society.
Yeah.
And of course, our content is geared towards a lot of blues musicians. And to me, this is the sound that they're looking for. This is the kind of sound that you get through an amplifier where you don't need to play through a lot of pedals
Right.
to get a great sound.
Yeah, that's true.
That's something that blues players, at least the traditional blues players, seem to gravitate towards.
Well, and our amps, they tend to breathe, right? So your right hand, if you're a right-handed player, is as important as your left. I mean, because the pressure you're applying will get you gainy or clean depending on how hard you're picking it. They're very responsive.
Right.
And for blues players, it's a good thing.
Yes. Well, John, thank you so very
Great,
much,
thank
and
you.
you have a great show.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hi, this is Rick from Rico's Blues News. I'm here at the NAMM show in 2022. It's totally a different, that's a horse of a different color. Let me just say that. Right now we're in the belly of the beast here with Andrew Ryan. Andrew, how you been?
I've been good. I've been really good.
Great, man. And Andrew, you just graduated from high school. You're one of the best guitar players I've ever heard. Really, I'm not making this up. People, this guy is absolutely amazing. How old are you now?
I'm 19.
19, okay. Well, still a teenager, but working his way out of it. So what have you been doing lately?
So I've been playing a lot of guitar. I've been playing lots of shows. I've actually started teaching people. So I've been trying to tell people how to play the blues, jazz, rock and roll, mainly the blues. But
Is there a website that people can go to look for your teaching?
right now, not at the moment. But you can find me on my Instagram at Andrew Ryan, and then that's where you should hit up Facebook, Twitter, etc.
So you told me that right now you don't have a band, but you're looking to put together another band. What are you going to do?
So I have a drummer, and I'm looking for a pianist. It's gonna be a three-piece, and kind of like the Doors. You know how the Doors had the bass in the bottom and the melody at the top? That's what I'm planning to do. And then me, the organ player, and the drummer are gonna do all vocals.
Okay. Are you going to do original material?
Yeah, original and covers, but mostly original.
Your material?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, listen, you have my information. I want you to send me it. When you get a gig, I want you to make sure you send it to me so that we can put it in Rico's Blues News and make sure you're there. And I want you to keep on rocking the blues, brother. Well, Darnell, I'm Rick with Rico's Blues News.
Darnell, man, nice to meet you, bro.
Okay, so where can our readers come to see you?
We're doing a U.S. tour starting June. We're going to be going up into like the Midwest and all over, and then Canada after that, and then UK, man. We're everywhere. We're out there.
All right, so what's the band called?
The band's name is Porcelain Hill. That's porcelain like China, hill like a mountain.
Okay.
And yeah, we're everywhere. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, Deezer, Tidal, whatever.
That's great, man. Here, I'm going to give you a card.
Which would be great, man. Oh, boom.
There we go. All right, brother. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
This is Rick Snyder. I'm here at the 2022 NAMM show, and believe me, it's a horse of a different color here this year, other than it's been for the other years. I'm with Rico's Blues News, and I'm here with Rick. Pronounce your last name for me.
Beato.
Rick Beato. Rick, you are an internet star. Really, I mean, how does it feel to have the amount of knowledge that you have and your willingness to share it with such a large group of people?
It's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Do people seek you out for particular things? Do they want to know things? Are they clawing at you all the time?
People send me emails on video topics a lot. So
Okay. And briefly, from the beginning of your internet career to today, what is it that took you from there to here?
working 100 hours a week.
Okay. That is exactly the answer I expected you to give. Hey, thank you so very much for giving me a moment of your time. I really appreciate it. You have a great day. Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News, and we're here at NAMM 2022 at the F-Note booth with Michael, and we're going to talk about the future of drums. We're concerned right now as to whether or not acoustic drums are continue to be the predominant force in music, or are we going to be able to use these, which are so very beautiful and look so much like acoustic drums. So tell us a little bit about the product, Mike.
Well, these kits are made for realism. They respond just like acoustic drums. All the samples that are in there are made to be, compatible with recording into a DAW. It sends 8 channels of USB audio into a pure separated drum kit. So if you wanted to plug it in and record a new song, it's one cable in and you have separated drum tracks going to it. As far as playing live, the feel of them, they bang just like real drums. They're super dynamic, responsive. They're as tight as it gets, I think, and I have to play everything in my office. It is what it is.
So how are we going to transition drummers from acoustic drums to this product?
Yeah, it's tough because talk is cheap, right?
Yeah.
But it's by having them play. As soon as they play, they come on board. It's already happened 10, 15 times today. It happened a million times yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, guys are coming in. Their friends are, come on, quick, because their friends play in the band and they want them to, come on board, with the idea of it, and the drummer will be reluctant, and then as soon as they start playing, they're like 15.
Well, I know a lot of times the problem on stage is that the drums tend to overpower and bleed into everything else. So this sounds like kind of a sound man's dream because they're able to control the volume. They can't control the pressure with which the drummer smacks the cymbals or hits the tom or kicks the kick, but they can certainly control it here. And I've seen like the plexiglass around the drums to try and keep it from bleeding out.
Yeah.
This seems like a much more viable option.
Yeah.
Is it going to be something that we can look forward to happening in the future? Is this going to replace acoustic drums, or is it just going to be an adjunct?
It will never replace acoustic drums. You heard it here first. It will definitely be a great option, and already is a great option. Like we're getting all of these churches that we're doing build outs in because they're trying to pull the drummer out of the fish tank so they can actually connect with the people in the church.
Right.
It's like you were trying to connect on something that's coming from here, and there's a piece of glass in front of you like you're speaking from prison.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's something's off with that. This takes that out. It's hard to explain, but it's there. It's a real thing because as we do these installs, we're hearing back a ton from the people that are playing them and congregational, members. Wow, it's a good thing.
Well, and I would agree with that because I think one of the most important things about being a musician is being able to connect with the audience. There's nothing I like less than to come and see a band where everybody just stands there, nobody really interacts with the audience.
Right.
And I don't want to come and see somebody do the Eddie Van Halen thing
Right.
and turn their back to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this provides an opportunity for that. What about small clubs?
Killer for small clubs. We've got it. We have it as a house kit in some spots. We've got it as a house kit on a TV show, and the sound man that was on that show the first time that I spoke with him, he was like, absolutely not. And he only wanted to go with an Alesis because it has the 8 outs on it, which I totally understand because I also run sound. But I was like, just trust me, man. If you consider your mixing worth that you can mix a good band, kick, snare, double overheads, then let's go. And once he took that on and heard them, and once the drummer played them and had a big grin on his face, it was on.
That's great.
But,
Just one last question. What does a kit like this go for?
so the base kit goes for $2,000, $2,700 next step up. This one is $4,000. We have a $2,500 full shelled kit that's a little smaller than this. That's $2,500. And then this one is $3,500, which is expanded 2 floors. It's 1 up, 2 down, and that with extra cymbals. And then our 7X out there we think it's going to fall around 5, but that just came yesterday, or 2 days ago.
That's not really unreasonable. For
No,
a
it's
full
super
drum
reasonable.
kit.
Yeah.
When you consider the cost of cymbals and everything else.
And who else can you go to at this price point and get 360? Playing anywhere, choking anywhere, 3 zones on the cymbals, the responsiveness, being able to edit the kits, tune them super high like a DCI snare drum down to like a bucket. You can go in and put 8 different types of ambience on them. It's like you can construct your own and put in 100 different kits. It's like, what more do you want? It's like,
and that, you know what? That's a great point, because drummers are constantly trying to get their drums tuned to a certain thing, and this has the capability of doing that almost effortlessly.
Yeah.
So the size of the cymbals, this is a fairly large electronic.
Yeah, this is
cymbal.
the largest cymbal on the market. This is a 360, choke and playing 3-zone ride cymbal. It's 20 inches. It's the only one that exists. We also have the smallest, so we have the bookends of the sizes in the e-drum industry, the 8-inch splash, and then we also have the only stack that just patent came through 2 days ago at 9 a.m. that we could finally talk about this thing. But we have a stack of an effect cymbal and an 8-inch splash that are 2 cymbals that physically respond to each other.
Oh, wow.
So and you can choke one and not the other. You can choke both of them. You can play both of them. You can but they act just like a real stack would.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Well, thank you so very much, Michael, for taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing this in many more stores.
Right on, thank you.
Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News. We're here at NAMM 2022, and we're at the Hal Leonard booth to talk about Gretsch drums. And actually not just talk about Gretsch drums, but we're going to talk about acoustic drums and what their place is in the role of music upcoming, with all of the digitalization of everything being online, everything being in the cloud. What place do acoustic drums still have? And we're here with Randy.
Yes.
Randy. So, you may hold this if you wish.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my name's Randy from Hal Leonard. We are the distributor for Gretsch drums, their full range line. And thank you for stopping by, NAMM 2022. Happy to be back here. Happy to be representing this brand and talking about acoustic drums with you.
Yes, okay. So, the acoustic drums, it's traditional. Every drummer in the world wants to play acoustic drums. They have a certain feel, they have a certain resonance, they have a certain just stage presence to have acoustic drums. And traditionally what we've seen with the digital drums is there are these little flat things that look like a set of practice pads.
Sure.
Right, so it doesn't have the visual quality that a drum kit like this does. What do you believe the role is of acoustic drums in the time to come? Are we going to see them replaced by digital drums?
I think it depends a lot on the application. So acoustic drums, to me, it's about the energy. It's about you're moving air and how much air you can move to fill a space. So in certain spaces, they're tailor-made. Certain clubs and venues are tailor-made for that energy of an acoustic drum set. And other applications, such as like at-home practice or like maybe a house of worship type setting with huge ceilings and very reverberant, might not be the best spot for acoustic drums. So they both have their roles and places, and I think it's just been drummers adapting to their environment and really like adapting to the setting. So if you're playing out, you're gigging a lot, you're doing a lot of club stuff, then acoustic drums for sure, that's the way to go. But then when it comes down to like at-home practice, maybe you live in an apartment, you can't always play acoustic drums because your kids are sleeping at 9 o'clock, those kind of things, then that's where the electronic side really comes in to support each other and really make it so that, you know, they both have their own homes, you can get the best of both worlds. Stage presence, of course, with an acoustic kit, I mean, is irreplaceable in terms of the stage presence compared to an electronic set. But then again, you also have electronic manufacturers that are building electronic sets that do have shells, and there are certain companies building modules and triggers that can be put on acoustic sets. And that's another thing too, is just more and more drummers are taking acoustic sets. You see a lot of people incorporating SPDX roll-in pads and electronic elements within their acoustic. So really they're living together and they're really helping push the boundaries of both products. And they're kind of growing together in the market that way.
Okay, and that's a great point, because I could easily see a juxtaposition of electronic and acoustic coming together. Now, one of the things that we had talked to somebody who manufactures electronic drums is smaller clubs. Needless to say, you don't want Neil Peart to bring his kid into a small club that holds 250 people. But conversely, as we said earlier, sometimes what you'll see is a plexiglass shield around the drummer on stage in a large venue, because the sound guy doesn't want the crashing cymbals or anything else bleeding through and drowning out the guitar solo. So with an acoustic set, you can't really control the sound per se, because you can't control the force with which a drummer hits the cymbal or kicks the kick. So how is that all going to come to pass? Are we going to find a time where it's going to be a hybrid? And I love that term, because you know, the pandemic has taught us that we do need to have a hybrid model for music, not just live and in person, but online as well, so that people in parts of the world that don't have access to what we have access to in certain parts are able to see it. Do you see that coming in the future?
I do, and I do see it a lot more commonplace, having a hybrid setup. I know one of my friends, he plays in a cover band, and he has an acoustic kit that's fitted with electronic triggers, so it's not making any noise on stage, but then he has real cymbals. So he's playing with both. He's playing with electronic drums that look like an acoustic kit, and then he's playing with live cymbals to get those overtones and stuff that's much harder to get out of cymbals, electronic cymbals that way. So they're living in both worlds, really. So that hybrid is really growing a lot in the market, and then as well, it comes down to application, personal preference. Some drummers are more comfortable on one or the other, and again, the setting, whether they're in a small club where stage volume and things like that are more of an issue. And really, we're seeing the same thing in the electronic or the electric guitar market as well. A lot of the guitarists are going ampless and just using things like the Helix or Axe effects instead of bringing an amp with them, and they're using all digital effects, all digital amplifier, and streamlining that way. So, but then again, there are the guys like myself who love tube amps and they love to feel the air. It comes back down to the energy and things like that and personal preference. So,
okay, and Rico's Blues News caters to the blues community, and blues musicians, especially those that consider themselves purists, really like the sound of the acoustic drum kit. They like the sound of a tube amp.
Oh, yeah.
They're not really that keen on a lot of pedals and a lot of different effects. So how is that going to fit into the blues genre?
In terms of drum set playing, I mean, I think we're seeing, like, in Nashville, for instance, they're kind of like their own music ecosystem, and you go out to see clubs in Nashville, and it's all acoustic drums still. And so certain environments, certain genres are very particular about staying true to the history of the music. When you get into pop and cover bands and those type of genres, they're a lot more flexible. They're trying to recreate sounds from, 20 different artists or something tonight, whereas an acoustic drummer playing a blues gig or something like that, they're not trying to recreate electronic drum sounds for the 80s. They don't have the need necessarily for electronics incorporated into their drum set as much, and therefore the acoustic really just goes to shine in that
So
situation.
we're not seeing the acoustic set go the way of the Dodo anytime soon.
Oh no, absolutely not. Acoustic drum sales right now have been absolutely through the roof the last few years, especially with the pandemic. We've had several retailers talk to us too about how when COVID happened and the lockdowns, it really just blew up the drum market and music market as a whole, because it came between like consumers who are choosing between like, hey, do I want the new Xbox? Do I want the new PlayStation? Or do I want a new electric guitar or a drum set? Like, it really started to compete with different markets just for people who are at home looking for things to do in their free time. And we capitalized on all of those customers, getting them to not only get involved with music, but then stay engaged and keep with playing and practicing, getting out now that live music is coming back, getting out and on stages and incorporating what they used over those years.
So tell us a little bit about this Gretsch kit right here behind us.
Yeah, the kit behind us right here is a Gretsch Catalina Maple. This particular finish is a satin dark cherry burst. It is a 7-ply maple shell. They come in all different kind of configurations. We have a 5-piece behind us. They come in up to a 7-piece configuration. That's probably the most popular configuration for the Catalina Maple, because you can really do anything with it. You can do a 1 up, 1 down. You can do the whole 7-piece kit and everything in between. You can move toms around, so it's super versatile that way. We also have a Catalina Club over on our stage behind us. Those are 7-ply mahogany shells, a little warmer, a little richer sound to those, more of a jazz-oriented drum set.
Okay.
And then at the top is our Renown series of drum set, which we have behind us as well, in a vintage pearl finish. Again, 7-ply maple, but they incorporate a lot of the features of the Gretsch USA line. So they have 30-degree bearing edges, 302 hoops, and a lot of the same hardware as the USA spec kits, just made overseas at a much more affordable price point.
What does a kit like this go for?
A kit like this is $1149. Yeah.
Okay. All right. One last question.
Sure.
As a drummer, wood or acrylic?
For me personally, wood.
There you go. All right. Thank you very
been a
much,
pleasure.
man. You really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Hi, I'm Rick Steiner with the Sacramento Blues Society and Rico's Blues News. I'm here with Don Lace, the founder, I'm assuming, of Lace Guitars.
Yes.
All right. And we were talking about cigar box guitars, which is a extremely popular item these days. It seems that everybody and their brother or sister, in the case of Samantha Fish, wants to play a cigar box guitar. Could you tell us something about those, Don?
Well, we are actually, Lace is the first actual manufacturer, if you can believe it, of a cigar box guitar. All of them have been basically put together with people that collect cigar boxes and whatnot. And we decided that there's something about this instrument that can be replicated in production with a really great pickup to get all the sonic tone out of it that you can. And so we first came up with our matchbook pickup on here, and then built a guitar around that, and here we are. So it's really taken off for us. It's an easy to play guitar, a light play. It's a traveler guitar. It's you can put it on an airplane with you, and it's just fun. It's super easy to play.
So the matchbook pickup, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's our patented Alumitone technology, but we've actually made it to look like a matchbook, and obviously it ties in with a cigar box. So that was the whole premise. I mean, how we thought it to come around, here we are.
Okay. All right. So has this become one of your more popular items?
Yeah, it's really taken off. I mean, people kind of don't believe it sounds like it looks. So there's a huge wow factor in it, because what comes out of it, you're going, that can't come out of that guitar. Yet this thing will keep up with any 6-string guitar out there, and just you can be a rock and roller instantly.
Really? So is the cigar box hollow?
Yeah. Now we build this box as an acoustic guitar, so it's not it's not a cigar box per se.
Right.
We designed it to have a structure in it, chambers,
Okay.
and it's for the frequencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do they come in different sizes? Am I going to get a different tone from
No,
different
you'll
ones?
get, between a 3 and 4 string, open tuning on it. but it's basically our designs. We wanted to kind of give a retro, you know, what you'd expect from a guitar, cigar box guitar to look like with some of our designs here. And now we just did a deal with Sunkissed, so we're going to be doing the Sunkissed labels, their old vintage orange crate labels.
Right.
So we're going to be doing that, as well as our tiki versions, which is from famous tiki artists that have picked it up because it's another way for them to do their artwork.
Sort of a Betty Boop kind of a thing, too.
Yeah.
It's sort of a juxtaposition.
Exactly.
So three-string guitar. Wait, wasn't that an idea that presidents of the United States of America had in one of their songs?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So,
That's
but we
great.
were very happy with it.
I
Really
love
good.
the idea. I love the way they look. Now, I'm primarily dealing with blues musicians, being part of the Blues Society up in Sacramento. Would this be an instrument that would lend itself to blues music?
Absolutely. I mean, tonally it'd be great as just a regular playing guitar. The slide, phenomenal. So it's a very universal and easy to adapt pickup on it. So you can basically play anything with it.
That's great. One last question. What do they retail for?
A whopping $349.
Oh, get out of
Now
here.
that's with a made in USA pickup on it.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your
All right,
time.
thank you.
Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News, and I'm here at NAMM 2022 with excellent, incredible guitar player, Jessica Kazmarek. So, Jessica, I've been seeing you all over social media. You're playing everywhere. Tell me what's going on right now.
Well, right now I'm recording an album in the studio, getting ready to release my debut album. I've played with a lot of different bands, but never actually put out my own thing. So getting ready to do that. Hopefully have that out in September or so. It's going to be called Dark and Light, and you can find it on my website, jessicakazmarek.com. And then I've got some shows coming up. I'm playing the New Blues Festival down in Long Beach in September with great acts, Tommy Castro, Lee Rocker. Got some other local stuff around town, so come out and check it out.
Well, I want to make sure that you send all of your information to me so I can post it to Rico's Blues News and make sure that people know where to find you. So who's playing with you on the album?
I've got my really good friends, David Valdez on drums, D.A. Valdez, and Lakshmi Ramirez, who's an amazing bass player. He plays with like a bunch of different bands, so I'm really happy to actually have him with us. And then I've got a host of other people that I'm going to have guesting. I'm hoping to have Junior Watson play on the song.
Oh, nice.
Maybe a little Mike Maloner in there too.
Nice.
Some other people. There's some other surprises I'm trying to get in there. So it's going to be really good. Looking
You've
forward
heard a lot of stuff with Mike.
Oh yeah, he's a good friend. We're all good friends around town. We all know each other, right?
Absolutely. And actually, one of the bands that I work with, Blind Lemon Peel, is going to be at the New Blues Festival.
David, I saw that. I haven't seen him in a long time, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, so it'll be good. I'll come down there, I'll see you there, watch you guys play. I know you're endorsed by Gretsch. Have you got any other endorsements?
Not at the moment, but I'm always open to anything. Okay, so bring it on by and I'll check it out. If I like it, then I'll go with you. If not, then you gotta like what you're playing and what you're endorsing. I think that's really important.
Absolutely, and I've seen you've got some beautiful instruments. I see them on social media all the
I
time.
always use a little more, So
Naturally.
See what happens. See what happens.
Well, that's part of the syndrome that many musicians suffer from, gear acquisition syndrome.
You can never have enough really good instruments. It makes you play better, and it makes you feel you look better. So then everything just works. That's a confirmation bias.
It does. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me.
So great to see you. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you.
Hi, this is Rick Snyder with Rico's Blues News, and we're just getting ready to leave NAMM 2022. Wow, what a great show. The excitement inside was almost palpable, and I'll tell you, this is the world's biggest toy store for musicians, and being a musician, I loved being able to be in there, hear all the things that were going on, the cacophony of sound, touch all the guitars, talk to all the people, and meet up once again with my music community here. And I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did, and I'll see you guys again next year. Don't forget to look for Rico's Blues News in your inbox, on Facebook, on YouTube, and look for our website, Rico's Blues News.